Welcome back from the break. And it takes us back to the news report and more of other business stories regarding information of business and all that. Because here we give you all those updates and you get to know them fast. And our next report takes us to the ongoing fourth session of the Uganda-Tanzania Joint Permanent Commission, the JPC. It is the fourth session, reason being it did not happen last year, neither in 2020, simply because of COVID-19. And this has strengthened the Uganda and Tanzania relations. On the fourth session of the Uganda-Tanzania joint commissions, these are particularly forums that discuss matters which are either bilateral but of mutual interest. The meeting scheduled to run till the 19th of January on Wednesday in Kampala has its main discussion rotating around various matters of mutual interest aimed at promoting bilateral relations between the two neighboring countries in Uganda and Tanzania. Let's have the details. Joint permanent commissions are forums where two countries come together to discuss matters which are bilateral but of mutual interest. The meeting is scheduled to run till the 19th of January 2022 in Kampala, and the main discussion is on various matters of mutual interest aimed at promoting bilateral relations between Uganda and Tanzania. The Minister of State for Foreign Affairs in charge of regional cooperation, John Molimba, says that this is a continuation of the decisions that were discussed in the third session in Dar es Salaam in 2019, and the fourth session was delayed due to COVID-19.
Of the third session, which happened in Dar es Salaam in 2019. Because of COVID, we could not proceed to have one in Kampala at the time that was estimated. However, we thank God that this morning we are here to commence on this Joint Permanent Commission reciprocal to follow up on decisions and issues which were discussed in Dar es Salaam in 2019. Now, some of the issues which are going to be discussed, let me say all the issues which are going to be discussed are aimed at deepening the bilateral relations between the two sister countries.
Molimba notes that some of the issues that will be highlighted include political, trade and the judicial matters. And on the issue of the East African crude oil pipeline project, he says that the countries have set out laws which will ensure bilateral relations.
What we're going to look at today include, and not limited to, political, judicial, trade, social issues, economic. You have talked about oil and gas. We're going to talk about transport. We have a number of developments in areas of transport, like Ambassador will be telling you, oil and gas. The level of preparedness is very high. We have so far, the two sister countries have passed the laws relating to oil and gas, and the developments there under include finalization of engaging the contractor to construct the pipeline from Uganda to the port of Mwanza, of Tanga.
Meanwhile, Ambassador Naimi Aziz, who is also accredited to the Economic Commission for Africa, says they also want to enforce the directives that were discussed during the diplomatic meeting between President Museveni and his counterpart from Tanzania, President Samia Suluhu Hassan, that took place in Tanzania.
All of our two countries are depending on us, and we're here also to oversee the directives, the implementation of directives of our principals, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, and President Yoweri Museveni of Uganda. You know, they had made state visits to Tanzania and to Uganda, and they came up with directives. So this is also part and parcel of why we're here as the JPC, to also to oversee the implementation of those directives. So we are very hopeful. We've been well received. We feel very much at home, and we hope the next 3 days, this meeting that we're starting today, senior official levels, then we have the permanent secretaries tomorrow and the ministers the day after. So after the meeting of the ministers, and then the members of press, of course, you'll be invited, you'll be told specifically what has been decided in every sector. We also are looking forward, there's a possibility of signing some agreements between the two sides. And we'll tell you specifically, initially there were 6. We were supposed to sign 6 agreements, but we're still working on the last-minute modalities to see how best we can address those. So there's a possibility that.
However, Major General Kasita Goa, the Director of Citizenship and Immigration Control, says the technical issues regarding working permits for Ugandans in Tanzania will as well be addressed during the discussions.
For now, what I can say is we have a very good relationship with Tanzania in relation to work permits. What pertains in Tanzania is what pertains this side. We are yet to have a more comprehensive discussion over this one so that we can address the issues that have been, the thorny issues that have been pertaining between the two countries. So I'd rather we wait for the final communique so that you'll get a more comprehensive report at the end of the day.
Uganda and the United Republic of Tanzania are holding the 4th session of the Joint Permanent Commission from 17th to the 19th of January 2022 in Kampala to discuss various matters of mutual interest aimed at promoting bilateral relations with key emphasis on trade. The final communique will be out on 19th of January when the 4th that is the 4th session of the JPC, the Joint Permanent Commission, sets up. The Joint Permanent Commission is normally forums where two countries come together to discuss matters which bring together matters which concern bilateral or mutual interest. Those are some of the key issues of some of which they discuss. And as a matter of fact, the issue, one of the other issues that they will be identifying is trade. Let's look at transport and more of the oil and gas. And speaking of oil and gas, it brings us to the East African crude oil pipeline project, as according to the Tanzanian delegation during the ongoing Tanzania-Uganda Joint Permanent Commission, that is the 4th session, the Tanzanian delegation believe that the project will generate employment opportunities for both countries, for the young people and the citizens in Tanzania as well as Uganda, in terms of employment, as well as those people that will be supplying to the project. The project is expected to generate a lot of revenue for the two countries, with oil investments expected to hit $15 billion. That is in investment. And the 1,443-kilometer long pipeline running from Hoima in Uganda to Tanga Port in Tanzania is a key infrastructure project for Uganda's realization of fast oil, and has 4 joint partners, which have Total Energies having the biggest shares in this, with 62% of them, the 8% going into Sinopec, the Chinese company, having 8%, that is 70% fulfilled. The other 30% is shared between Uganda and Tanzania, with each having a 15% of that. Let's check out the details of this. The East African crude oil pipeline project is expected to generate a lot of revenue for Uganda and Tanzania, with oil investments expected to hit $15 billion. The 1,443-kilometer long pipeline running from Hoima in western Uganda to Tanga Port in Tanzania is a key infrastructure project for Uganda's realization of fast oil, and has 4 joint venture partners, including Total Energies having 62%, with Uganda having 15%, Tanzania with 15%, and China's Sinopec company with 8%. Ambassador Naimi Sweetie Aziz believes the East African crude oil pipeline project will benefit the youth through employment opportunities and trade, but only if the people take the advantage.
There is a huge mega project between our two countries. Very strategic, and it's got a lot of benefits. And trade is one of them. Obviously, the pipeline, the building, and how it's going to affect the population surrounding the project. And we both stand to benefit, Uganda, Tanzania, in terms of those who will be supplying things to the project. You have the communities living where the project is going to run. They also will be benefiting. You have the youth, the people that will be employed throughout the project. that will be working on the project. So it was going to provide employment. It's going to provide, new areas of cooperation, obviously, from Tanga, actually where the project is going to, the main position in Tanzania, all the way to Hoima.
Meanwhile, His Excellency Dr. Aziz Ponari Mlima, the Tanzanian High Commissioner in Uganda, notes that in November 2021, there was a joint business forum that was attended by both presidents of Uganda and Tanzania, specifically focused on the issue of oil and gas.
It's just to add just 1 or 2 points. The project, the ECO project, it has got cross-cutting benefits from where it starts to where it ends, from Hoima all the way to Tanga port in Tanzania. And recently, it was November last year, we had a joint business forum between Tanzania and Uganda, specifically focused on the issue of gas and oil and gas. And our 2 presidents were there, and the business community from Uganda and the business community from Tanzania took part. The idea is just to have a close coordination of the 2 business community to be able to take advantage of the project so that the 2 countries benefit, especially the private sector.
He, however, clarified on the possibilities of Ugandans investing in Tanzania, and he believes that all the issues will be discussed in the ongoing Joint Permanent Commission to see that all political, social and economic issues are mitigated.
For Ugandans to invest in Tanzania, just to touch on that, we have the Joint Business Forum, which managed to bring these 2 private sector together so that they can be able to see the opportunity of doing business in Tanzania and investing there. And it is vice versa also for the Tanzanian business community to be able to take part in investment in business here in Uganda. And as you know, the joint business, the Joint Permanent Commission, the one we are having today, and the next few days, is just to bring the 2 governments together to iron out issues relating to laws, regulations, and everything, so that our people from our 2 countries benefits politically, economically, socially, and so on. So that's why we are here, to have this diplomatic approach of JPC, but the main idea is to bring these 2 countries together. And
it is estimated that just the construction phase of the East African crude oil pipeline project, the 2 partner states of Uganda and Tanzania, will see an increase of over 60% in foreign direct investments, and that the investment in the oil and gas project shall total up to $20 billion, with the East African crude oil pipeline project investment alone at over $3.5 billion. A year of economic recovery as the upcoming 2022-2023 financial year is upon us. Recovering proves vital for the growth of our economy. And speaking of recovery, even the East African crude oil pipeline project can still lay a bigger picture. But speaking of recovery, Mukesh Shukla believes that resilience is a key for businesses to recover away from the impact of COVID-19, the lockdowns and the continuous pandemic. 24th January will